Hi everyone, this is Yarn Journey with another crochet picot tutorial to show how to put picots on both sides of a multi-wrap or tall stitch. Okay, I've chained 3 because I'm going into my, as you can see, I've done this video. The stitch isn't hard to make, the video is hard to make. Okay, so this is how I do them. I'm going to wrap 3 times for this particular tutorial, but you just wrap as many times as you want, and then you can put a picot on any of the wraps. So I'm just going to put it on this middle second wrap. I'm going to roll everything really forward so that my stitch is tight. Go into the third chain over, or the third stitch over, to give me some space between my picot stitches. Okay, so I'm going to keep everything really tight, and I'm going to pull up a loop, and everything's tight. So I'll have the 3 wraps and my loop and the chain coming over forward. Okay, now I'm going to pull this through. Now that's kind of locked in, so I don't have to hold everything so tight. Okay, then I'm going to chain the chain that's going to hold the picot and would be the one that would go under the wrap. Then I'll do my 3 picot chains. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to try to stay in front of the camera for y'all. And then I'm going under the chain that's supposed to hold the picot. I need to go under 2 of the threads because I'm doing a back picot. Hold everything to the back or right picot, and I'm going to pull my yarn over and pull through everything, including the wrap, the loop that was on the hook, everything. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And if I've pulled everything tight enough, I shouldn't get too big of a stitch up here. Okay. And then I also should have a picot in the middle. You'll see 2 wraps below and 1 wrap at the top. Okay, now let's do the left side one. We're going to do the same thing. Wrap 3 times and pull everything forward. Okay, hold it tight. Go into your next stitch where you want the stitch to end. Pull up, keep everything tight. That's just so you don't get a really big loop at the top. Okay, once that's locked in, you don't have to worry so much. Then I'm going to chain 1 that would go under the wrap. I'm going to keep the wrap out of the way. And then do 1, 2, 3. That just helps me, to keep the wrap out of the way. I think it's best. Go under 1 thread and roll everything forward. Hold it, go through that and the wrap. And the wrap will be off to the side, so you'll have to go and get it. And you should get a curled picot coming off to the left-hand side. Then you just finish off. And if you've gotten everything tight enough, you shouldn't have too big of a stitch up at the top here. Okay? So that's how I do picots in the middle of a tall stitch. Okay. Now I'm going to chain 3 again to do my next one. I'm going to wrap 3 again, and it would depend on how many wraps you have. In size 30, I do 5 wraps and put it on the middle. In 10, I would probably do the 3. Okay. Then I'm going to hold everything really tight to get my first stitch. Hope that's tight enough. And I'm going to chain the picot that's going to hold, or make a chain that's going to hold all the picots. Do my 3 right ones first. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go through 2 threads of the chain, roll backwards, and pull through everything. The chain, or the loop that's on the hook was on the hook, and the wrap. Now I'm going to do, I hope I didn't get out of frame. 1, 2, 3 for the second picot. There isn't an extra chain here. There's just the picot chains. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to go underneath that loop of the first picot. I'm going to go underneath the wrap, and I'm going to go through the chain. That's 4. Then I'm going to roll forward, and there's a whole bunch of stuff there. And I'm going to pull right on through. And you'll be surprised, it goes right on through. And then you pull up a little bit to make a stitch and go under your first wrap, or which would be your third wrap really, but the leftover wrap and the top of your stitch. And you should get a nice cute little picot on each side with your two little strands that are decorative strands going across the top. That's the way I like to do it. You know, where you put so you get your two wraps at the bottom and one wrap at the top. If you want to, you can keep the wrap all the way off, and then the wrap would go across the top. I think it gets a little bulky looking, but if you have a design where you really need that vertical look, then you might want to consider putting the wrap on top. But I like it this way with the two little lines going across. Okay, so I hope this was helpful on how to put picots on both sides of a tall wrap stitch. They're good for in lace work especially. This is such a big hole here. I don't know if it would have much of a use in Afghans or anything like that, unless you're doing them over a base or something and they're just decorative. If you've got something underneath here. And then this is a Tunisian. I love this stitch. It is a Tunisian mesh stitch, and I've been playing with that. Isn't that pretty? So, okay. Alrighty, and then I just did my border at the bottom. Okay. So that's how you put a picot on both sides or on each side of a tall stitch. Alright, and again I'm using the back loop picot and I'm using the front curl picot because I just like how they look when they're paired. Even though they're different styles of picot, they seem to work well in this particular application. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you can use this type of technique on your next project. Thank you.